Okay, good day, traders. Last week I found an interesting trade. This trade was on 24th of May on platinum futures, and it has a breakout, and then after that it came back and taken out my stop loss, my position, and then it continued to go up again. So I'm pretty sure that some of the retail traders out there, or many of you who've tried breakout trading strategies, actually stopped out, and you're not in the trade again, and the price starts to continue to go towards your anticipated direction without you. So now here we go on this trade breakout strategy. Okay, now, so this is actually taken on the 24th of May, where we see a major markdown phase, and once the price has made a huge down move, then we start to see some some retail traders trying to take the price back up again right here. So this is where the actually almost at the end of the markup stage, sorry, markdown stage, and price forms some bottom right here, and you see some volatility coming in right here. Price starts to go slightly wild right here, and this is where bulls and bears are fighting. It's found actually formed some sort of support, and as the bulls were actually trying to bring the price up, and with this moving average still sloping down, the bears are actually also fighting to bring the price down. So as the fight goes on, it's formed some sort of pattern right here. So some patterns are pretty recognizable, I would say. Let's say, for instance, okay, now see, there's some people might call this rounding bottom or saucer bottom, right? So let's call this ascending scallop, and also it has formed quite a significant resistance right here, right? So, and also price did actually, I mean, the simple moving average did the short-term moving average crossed the long-term moving average. So this also signifies that the price is going to reverse. So if the price stays above this two moving average, and if the short term crosses over the long term moving average, and it starts to slope up, then most of the retail traders sees this as a very very bullish signal. And what we can see is that apart from the ascending scallop, some people would call this diamond reversal pattern, right? Or some people might call this symmetrical triangle. Okay, you can see a symmetrical triangle right here. Right, that's a little bit too thick. Right. So now, okay, what I usually depend on, I would depend on more on a horizontal support or resistance area. So as as there's some confirmation right around this area, then what we see is that the price actually made some higher highs, and it broke out in this area, and starts to come back and retrace and retest at this area. So once it's actually close above this area, then we would anticipate more retail traders coming in to buy at this area right here, right? So now let's go on and see. Okay, so this is where I entered the trade. So if I trade the breakout strategies, normally what I want to see is that I want to see the full body of the candle. Okay, but this is in 30 minutes. 30 minutes candle. Full body of the candles moves out and close above the resistance. So this is where it means a lot of confirmation. It's like a prisoner running out from the fence. So if the body is just half stuck out, and it's not fully out from this, take it as a fence right here. If it's not break free from the fence, it cannot run straight away from there. So this guy broke out from the fence, and then it starts to retrace a little bit, and we anticipate the price to go up to the profit target on the later part. So now, as we move on, the price pattern starts to form, right? And all right, this is where a lot of retail traders starts to come in at this candle right here. And what we can see is that immediately once this candles forms, then there'll be more retail traders coming in, joining to push the price further up right here. The bulls starts to push the price. So, but then is that what we can see some warning signs as it starts to push the price up. We can see there's quite some rejection levels right here. There's quite a number of sell limits placed up here to absorb the buy orders in the market. So this buy orders from the breakout strategy provides a lot of liquid to those who are selling around these areas. Okay, so those who sell around these areas are mostly professional traders. So what they do is that once they sell around these areas, and then we see some weakness, long wicks of a candle right here, or shadow you might want to call it. So what happens is that the price did not actually move up straight to the profit target. And this is quite a typical scenario. I have a few examples in my documentations, and of course, in time I'll record more. So, what happens is that there's a lot of, the sell orders was actually placed around this area, causes a huge imbalance and huge volatility. Price flushes down and hit my stop loss and many other traders' stop losses as well. So this level of stop losses has been taken out. A whole bunch of them. Some of them who bought in a bit later at this part, their stop losses around this area. So those who put at this area, or even if they did not have a stop loss, if they see long red candles forming, these two long red candles forming, which is about 90 degrees drop right here, they start to actually close their order before it even hits their stop loss. So this induces a lot of fear, these two candles right here. And once it induces a lot of fear, and people starts to sell off, and guess who's actually taking up their orders? All right, so if majority of the public or the retail traders starts to sell around these areas, and of course there's a lot, at this point is a maximum fear, panic, maximum panic, then of course the professional traders will start to actually will actually have their buy limits already around it at this area to actually collect the orders from the panic sellers. All right. So all right. So you can see there has been earlier you can see a symmetrical triangle. Price has actually break out from that earlier, starts to form a support and goes up. So price has actually decided to find a support, some support around this area. And so what I did was when it stopped me out around this area, I actually re-enter to repair this strategy. To repair this trade, re-enter at this candle. And now, if you want to wait for a nicer candle, sometimes it might not happen. Sometimes it happens. You can actually buy after this pin bar is formed. So it means that most of the buy orders has already been satisfied already. So there's a confirmation that the price is closing a lot higher than those levels right here. And all right, so what happens is that when we see aggressive flushes down, like this flushes earlier, then it means the big players or the professional traders are actually accumulating, because it has been a long markdown stage, and you will see a lot of volatility. That means the professional traders are trying to accumulate at these areas. So they do not want to flush the price even further down at this moment, because what you want to see is that they still want the market to perceive this as a still a continuous bullishness, because this forms a higher low. Then after that, let's say, okay, so this set of bracket orders has been taken out. It's not valid anymore. And let's say I look in, all right, there's some sort of support right there. So my re-entry, my order re-entry was over here. Then of course I also set my bracket orders, right? So now what we can see is that right here, well, okay, there are some traders actually who took this trade. Now this is a very good retest candle. So what happens is that the price retail traders starts to come in again, right? Place their orders and price starts to retest that and slowly waves up from the retail traders bought, and professional traders comes in again and starts to flush them out, shake out the weak hands again, right, through a long red candle taken out, and of course then the price starts to move upwards again, slowly waving upwards. So as it forms small waves here, then it starts to have its own mini breakout. This is a pendant to many of those breakout traders, and price starts to go up further. Okay, so this is where I took my profit around this area, and right, which is around here. So of course, some traders when they see price starts to actually break out at this area, there was some resistance up here. So there's some continuation pattern. So after that, then the price still continues to go up even further. So most of the professional traders has actually taken out their, I mean, has actually, going has actually gone up from the trade around this area. They have taken their profit because by having breakout patterns, it provides them a lot of liquidity to get up from the trade. So, before the trade turns against them, and so this is where I would like to conclude my trade strategy. So just to repair my trade. So now this is the actual buy entry and the exits of my trade. So as you can see, this is where I bought this candle, right from the breakout in this area. Comes back and retest. Well, some traders would prefer to buy from over here. Then price goes up again, a lot of rejections right there, then comes back again. Then a lot of buyers are coming in also as well. Fills the order of the sell limit up here, and there's a lot of sell orders flooding in the market. Comes down, hits my stop loss, taken out right here. All right, so this is the order that has actually, all right, sorry, this is the order. All right, my stop loss order, which has taken me out right in this candle. Then re-entry the next candle again with my entry order set right here, then my stop loss down here. So you can see that, all right, it's protected by this structure right here. It has some sort of resistance. Okay, as price starts to, breathe a little bit right here, goes up, comes down, slowly waving up again, huge flush down, taken out some retail traders, goes up again, flush down a little bit, goes up again, comes down a little bit. Okay, then some consolidation, then some breakout right here. Okay, price goes up, taken me out from the trade, profited, and comes down again and starts to continue even further up. So why is this wave? These candles are very long. Is that most of the retail traders has seen the very good price confirmation. So if this is a bigger wave, if you can see, this is one wave. Okay, let's say for instance, okay, there. So if in a bigger time frame, what you can see is that there's a huge wave up here, reversal, comes down, goes up, comes down, goes up. So this is where a lot of traders would actually see this as a confirmation. So this is usually, I think in elite wave, this is what they say. The third wave is the longest, is because the trend is it's very obvious to everyone right here at this area. So this is where they buy in, but the thing is that this is where the professional traders starts to get out from the trade. So this is when a lot of retail traders are buying in, and this is the levels that they actually, give. It actually contributes a lot of liquidity for them to get out on the trade right around this area, right? So you see, now for those who actually draw counter trend lines, so it will be something like this, right? Then they see wave down, right? Wave down, and then breaks the trend line. They see it as a bullish signal, right? Trend reverses. Okay, first wave goes back down. Second wave consolidate a little bit. Third wave forming right here. So this is where a lot of retail traders sees confirmation, and the more of them see confirmation, the more opportunity it gives to the professional traders to get out from the trade. So I'm not surprised, if price goes on here, starts to consolidate a little bit more. So I think most of the professional traders has got out from these areas. Right. So do not want to drag this further on, and this is how I see price actions. I do not have a lot of lagging indicators in my chart. All I have is just two moving averages and candlesticks. What we really need to know is that what are the dynamics behind these price patterns, right? So all you need is a clean chart, actually. Right. So happy trading and investing. I'm glad and I hope you enjoyed the video. And see you next time.